So make sure that actually goes live, because YouTube takes an extra hot minute to get up there. And we are live in all the things. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be checking out Manor Lords. So this is the early access build they've got going. I think it's version 0.7.002 or some nonsense. But Manor Lords is one of these like settlement building, like survival settlement building games, or city building games, whatever you want to call it. That the gist of it is you're in some non-specific time between either like medieval times and like colonial times. I actually don't know exactly where Manor Lords lands in that spectrum, but there's a lot of games that hit in this area. But one of the things that stuck out for me with Manor Lords when I played the demo way back was they took a lot of was just kind of like the conventional way people did things. And they kind of said, what if we streamlined that a little bit and got rid of some of like the pain points while adding new systems. So, like, for example, when you look at a lot of the games in this genre, you'll say, hey, Tom over there, Tom's my woodcutter. And then Tom will woodcut. And then Tom dies because it's a survival game. And now suddenly you don't have a woodcutter, but you fail to realize Tom was your woodcutter who died. And maybe not it replaces them or whatever. So in this one, instead, you'd go to Tom's family and you'd say, the Smith's household. The Smith's household is the woodcutting household. So when Tom dies, then you go to, like, you know, the next in the lineage would then become your woodcutter. And so it takes a lot of that micro of just sitting there going, like, person to person to person, be like, no, you're the woodcutter, you're the woodcutter. And there's different ways they've tied these over the games to try and make them better. But I like the way this one kind of figured it out. Because it takes, I joke about there's good micro and there's bad micro. Good micro would be, for example, with the example of RimWorld I usually like to give, is when you're in a fight saying, put this pawn behind cover and shoot at that person because they're the biggest threat. That's good micro. I am making strategic decisions in that moment that could swing the battle one way or the other. Bad micro would be if I had to tell the pawn to shoot each and every individual shot. That would be bad micro. Because once I've decided the target, I'm probably not going to change my mind on that until it's downed or whatever. Or like, you know, there's times you just want them to just do their thing. You've got overwhelming numbers. Bad micro is when you have to sit there and it's not really a decision. You're pushing the buttons because you need to push the buttons. And it's a foregone conclusion what you're going to do with those buttons. They're less relevant. Bad micro could be like having to tell your pawn to eat each meal and that kind of stuff. That's bad micro. That's tedious. That's boring. Good micro is when your decisions matter and they're impactful and you want to make those decisions. Yeah, no, it's like Banish but more. Yep. So with that, whenever I play a game for the first time, I take 2 seconds to get a look at their settings to see what accessibility stuff they have, because we do promote, we do try to promote being good with accessibility for people with disabilities and neurodivergent conditions here. So on the first screen, all I'm seeing is autosave and tutorial pop-up. Sure. Most of the rest of this, like, you could argue the pausing or slowing down time as an accessibility stuff. Gotcha, Strider. Gonna be honest, not something I care about. You know, it's cool, but also not something I care about. This is just graphic settings. I'm not seeing anything like motion blur or screen shake or any of the usual culprits that can cause accessibility issues, so that's all looking good. Audio is audio. Lots of controls. Good stuff. Let's see here. We do have camera shake here. So if you're someone who gets simulation sickness, motion sickness in games, there you go. Edge panning on and off. That's another one that could be a motion sickness thing. So glad to see that has the option to turn that off as well. These are just controls. And then we basically have interface scale, which I already turned mine up a little bit, and language support. Now, that said, we got a couple of accessibility options there. Now, the absence of accessibility options doesn't necessarily mean there's a problem. You can have a game that is well designed such that they're completely irrelevant. You know, if you don't have motion blur, you don't need to toggle to turn it off, that kind of thing. But I like to recognize when we've got stuff. So with that, let's go ahead and get in here. I'm going to set my name to Rual Storge. And what port are we going to do? We got our choice of, it looks like 9. Honestly, the what started on cough demo cough. Well, I mean, I played the demo. I have the influencers / news key everything, so this is the early access version that I have access in advance, not the demo. The early access version gets released, it's something like 10 days or something like that, so I do have access to that version. At least that's the way I'm understanding it. So let's go ahead and go here, choose a flag, let's split down the middle maybe. Yeah, no, this is not the demo. Alright. No. Oh, wait, X. We can do the X. Can we choose where it's positioned? Okay. Yeah, and unfortunately it doesn't look like it can do 2 symbols on it. For one for the tree. Unless there's a tree background, but I'm not seeing one. If you say so, a demo for you has always been early. Yeah, they had a demo. We played the demo previously. They had it for like Steam Next Fest previously. But I'm just saying this isn't the demo. Not gonna put a huge amount of time into flag, but we've been doing the axe thing lately because there's a meme on the channel about how trees are the enemy because of just playing Project Zomboid. Oh, so there's 2 colors for you as well. I see. Let's go for the gray. That's just what we'll do. Let's not get caught onto it forever. So we've got our coat of arms with an axe and all that kind of good stuff. Alright. So the end goal is by claiming all territory. Conquest, none. So we have growth, reach a large town settlement to win. Eliminate all other lords by claiming their territory. Claim all regions to win. So I'm going to leave it on domination just because that's what the default was. But yeah, whether like when it comes to demo that we did the demo back during their demo thing, which didn't have save functionality and all that. Right now we're playing the early access version. Let's see. Off-map adversary adds an AI component located off-map. He controls 2 regions and brings his soldier to the main game when challenged. Aggressiveness of the AI. AI lords may press a claim towards the player's regions after they run out of neutral regions to claim. Raider frequency, medium. No more than a single raid every 2 years. Raider free years, 2 years. Okay, so I get 2 years where I get no raids, and then I should see a raid, 1 raid at the most per 2 years. Initial bandit camps. 1 bandit camp present. Random bandit camp spawn limit, you can't have more than 3. We start in the spring, standard supplies. Armament delivery, yes, so we'll get free weapon delivery for the militia as soon as the player builds a storehouse. Residential requirements are balanced. Approval has a medium penalty. Underground water is well placed, and weather events are balanced. We do have the early access map as the only option. Oh, there's scenario templates. Rise to prosperity, restoring the peace on the edge. Rise to prosperity, fulfill the requirements of your citizens, plan and rule your medieval town as you see fit without worrying about combat. Reach the large town settlement level. After that, you may choose to continue in endless mode. Restoring peace. 2 territories in the north are claimed by the illegitimate baron whose castle is located off the map. Bandit camps reside in the other unclaimed regions. Build and expand at your own pace. When ready, challenge the Baron for the northern territories. Conquer every region. On the edge. Grow your city and raise forces quickly as you can. The lands are pestered by bandits and undefended settlements quickly perish. Survive all the attacks to reach a large settlement. And more coming soon. I'm going to go with Restoring Peace because the way this implies is that I can build it like it's a very normal one. And then after the normal one, we are then able to choose to switch into combat. Whereas this one seems it has no combat at all. We'll see. Let's see. You're part of the surviving aftermath. Bought it very early, 0.6, 35 euro, and worth it. Just, you know, should have been a demo, not. Well, that's okay. So that's definitely a different discussion. But yeah, like whether something should be a demo versus sold as early access, like at what phase in development do you say demo, early access, release? And I will definitely agree that I do find a lot of games release in too early of access. And that kind of hurts them a lot. New message. Build up your town, your manor, and when ready, press claims towards region owned by your opponents. Once a claim has been pressed, be ready for battle. I'll unite these lands under my rule. Alright. I, for the life of me, do not remember how to play. In Manor Lords, families need food and fuel and a roof above their heads to survive. Supplies in a region in the panels above show how much you've got. Okay. So we've got 38 construction, so we've got some timber, some stone, some tools. We've got 20 bread, we've got 20 fuel, and a bunch of nothing. And I've got 5 unassigned workers, with a total population of 10. Oh, it doesn't respect Dvorak. So, first of all...
Summer's coming soon, and soon the beating sun.
Alright, 1 second. Those voice lines are way too quiet. Why did you drop to like 6%? Put these around here. Alright. So we have roads, construction, a logging camp. Let's see, every region in Manor Lords has strengths and weaknesses. Be sure to check all the resources deposit as well as investigate soil fertility before deciding what direction, on the direction of your town. If your region has weak fertility, consider choosing trade early. Okay. So you got underground water. So pretty much all fertility is kind of crap right around here. Yeah, so right where our town is, pretty much everything has pretty terrible stuff. We do have some rich soil over here and here for rye. That made my UI stuff go away. See if we can't figure out where that was. It's here somewhere. Where did they hide it? Visit mode? Oh yeah, visit mode's where you can go like third person. No, but seriously, where was that? Okay, it's when I actually click on the menu. I see. Yeah, so barley. So in our region, barley ain't happening. That's what I'm reading. Barley ain't happening in our region. Flax. Flax is not great. Emmer. So I got a spot of emmer for emmer over here and over there. So it's more or less a similar location to the rye. Yeah, no, I do see that there is the third person mode. But yeah. Right, no, I got you, Snow Fox. But yeah, that's I do, like I said, I do feel like a lot of games, because they need to fund themselves, like there's a monetary reason they do it. But there is a lot of games that go early access way too early, and they get that little bump at the beginning, and then they kill their reputation, and it's difficult to come back from that. So yeah, so it looks like rye and emmer, which, to be honest, I have no idea what emmer is. Looks like we got those areas by the edge of the map here, and this intersection down there, and a whole lot of nowhere else. We do have underground water kind of woven around. Either way, I still think, first of all, we're going to go ahead and put down a lumber yard. What is the button for rotating the lumberyard in this game? Here we go. Oh, it's just hold left mouse button. Alright. So we can go here. Honestly, this whole place is dense, so we'll just put it up against the edge. I assume I want the opening down this way. We got a woodcutter's lodge, a sawmill, a forester's hut. The forester's hut, we'll need to do that too. The hunting camp and a forager hut. Right, and this is one of those games that they have like the really nice options that they do let you move it without penalty, which I really appreciate because there's so many games that you can very easily just kind of click, make a mistake, and then suddenly you've been punished this ridiculous amount. So I do appreciate more and more games are being kind about it. Alright. Unassigned families will work automatically. Got it. We're going to unpause for right now. Timber requires oxen to be moved. Villagers will automatically get the oxen when they need it. Okay. So we're going to need to get food pretty early, because they only gave us 20 units of food. Which now I don't see up here, because I think it's because they drilled into a menu here.
Summer's coming soon, and soon the beating sun. Can I stay where there's drink?
Alright, we'll just try tucking that over there. Because it's not showing me a radius or anything that would imply that...
Is this smooth enough?
Yeah, so I'm not seeing anything that indicates... We've got clay over there. Oh, we do have stuff over here. We got berries and we got stone. I'll put that down there. We're gonna give that a moment to run. We do need to get houses going as well.
Is this beam straight? He thinks it is, or at least straight enough for this kind of work.
Yes, we got a granary, we got a storehouse, we got a pack station.
Come on.
We got a burgage plot. And a well. Alright. So let's go ahead and get some houses going. Let's see, in most cases the resource Manor Lords have been physically moved. It will take a moment to feel free to change the game speed whenever you like. That's totally fine. This building has no assigned families. Select it to assign a family and they'll start production.
Just give me a hammer and something needs...
Oh, that one got finished.
I'll put it in its place.
Assigned a family. Cool.
Come along, lad.
While human workforce has to be assigned, by default, livestock workforces are shared between workplaces. However, you can bind it to a work palace permanently in the advanced tab. Just watch out that you have unassigned ox to do any construction going on. Yelling at the algorithm? Okay. Yeah, so they got a typo here in workplace that the L's out of the not in the right place. Oh, yep, we got posture.
Summer's coming soon, and soon the beating sun.
All right. So I've got that and that. Okay. Roads and carts. Some workplaces in the village allow villagers to use hand carts to transport up to 10 goods at once. However, pulling a hand cart off-road is extremely slow. Make sure to connect your buildings to roads. Okay. And do roads have a cost?
Tomorrow, find a new home.
It's not implying it does. Oh. Oh, that is like instantaneous.
Summer's coming soon, and soon the beating sun.
Okay, we have the ox cart over here, so let's go ahead and connect that up there. Okay, and with that, I need to get some households going. Let's make that a T real fast, and I'll put some households in the T. Okay, so let's see here. We've got our households. Right, and you draw the plots and it fills them in. Yep. So we could go here. I could literally drag it all the way down here. Bring it around here. Sure. One person gets a completely unfairly larger lot than everyone else. Can you get... Oh yeah, there was a thing about Twitch integration, wasn't there? I have no idea where that's located. At least I thought. This was the one that had Twitch integration, right? It was just names in games or something. I don't think I've seen our people, because I haven't watched too many people playing it, because I know I was going to play it myself. Alright, so the Forger hut is done, which was down here. Assign a family to that. Assign a family to this. I believe I only had 3 households.
Can I stay where there's drink?
No, it's implying I still have got more households. Alright, so let's also pop in here. We're going to need a well. So I don't know, does it need to be fully on the tile, or is that good enough? I'm going to not take my chances. We're going to scoot you over here. New message. Let's see. I have heard of your renown. I only seek to defend my rights and my honor against those who wrong me. I hope you'll not judge me by the rumors and slanders as some may spread about me. Signed and sealed by my own seal. Hildebolt von Brunner, whatever. Sure, I'll write you back. Drop paragraph here. We're not going to respond to that by saying you have no rightful claim to kick things off. Let's see. It shows a view under there. You can press claims to other regions when you gain enough influence. I understand. Click one. Click one and in out. The people?
Summer's coming soon, and soon the beaten sun.
Alright. Yeah, so we have different seasons. We're gonna have to get stuff caught up.
Fresh start for me and me own.
Family requests more market area for their stall. More market area. Okay.
Come on.
We'll make a market here. Supply and demand. Assigned families will set up stalls automatically as long as there's enough space in the market. Hover over specific categories to check current supply and demand. Burgage plots closest to the market get their requirements filled first. Gotcha.
Summer's coming soon, and soon the beating sun.
Okay, so I've got that starting to be built. We are going to need farmland. I don't know how bad building a farm, like, out in the middle of the edges is going to be. Let's see. That employs farms to work the field. Let's see. The fields of Manor Lords need to be very large to be effective, but they also take a long time to plow by hand. For a starting village, try a field of a size about 1 morgan. Later, you want a region to focus on farming. You may consider spending a development point to unlock the heavy plow upgrade, which allows plowing much bigger fields efficiently using oxen. Also remember to check the crop's fertility and some ground crops. Okay. That's a half Morgan. Alright. We'll try going for some of the yellow. 1.8. Let's split the difference.
Summer's coming soon, and soon the beating sun.
We'll try that. Farming. Farmhouse employs families to work the fields. The workforce is distributed proportionally accordance to the field's priority level. When crops are growing, they absorb certain amounts of nutrients in the soil, temporarily lowering its fertility, thus diminishing yields over time. To combat this, consider changing crop types, or even better, leaving the field to fallow for a year. I understand. Gotcha. Okay. So have you run wheat? We'll go here and make a farmhouse. Gotcha. So this is one of those games that I can't, like, place the building and wait for it to go. So in this case, we'll say just leave it to follow for right now since no one has the ability for it. Homeless will move to the plot, and if approval is high enough, it might attract new families too. However, families need more than just space to be happy. Click on a residential for requirements. Okay, so we've got a house. You want access to water, a church, a food stall, and a fuel stall, and a whole bunch of other stalls. So I've got all that.
Beam coming up.
Yeah, we need more houses. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and snake a road up this way. Kind of along the forest line, I think. And then we'll zone this for housing.
Who's using the auger? I need to drill holes for the pegs.
Oh, I have to wait for the wood on that too. I understand. So what we're gonna have to do for right now is we're just gonna have to like wait for that. Let's go ahead and bump up the speed just a little bit. But basically we're stuck waiting on the wood supply to show up. We already have people cutting down the trees. I have unassigned people. Okay, they're still building that.
Soon the beating sun.
Let's see, think in real life how far your nearest farm is. You need to kill more evil trees? Yes. Exposed goods pantry. We need a granary, it's telling us. Alright, so the game definitely doesn't have much in the way of teaching you the basic, like, tutorial kind of stuff. It's just, you know, the game has started. Go for it. So let's put the granary, let's go ahead and chuck that over there, along this main road down here. We need a storehouse. We'll put that all down there along this road. Okay, I turned on... I'm gonna leave the day-night cycle on because it gets too dark to see what's going on. Video saw wood, or was it logs? Meh. Meanwhile, there is a thing for going into third person if I could find it again. Currently showing surplus goods. Stored goods. Okay. So basically the rake goods are happening. And whatnot. We need more logs. Where... Okay, so this is just under this area. So I also need to go in here. We need to get these houses to happen. We need to get the farmhouses to happen as well. Alright, that'd be 10 wood. Alright, that's gonna take a minute. Farming potatoes. Always the potatoes. Alright, so they have a food stall and they have access to water. They do not have access to church and all that. Construct backyard extension. Allows vegetables requiring plowing and harvesting labor. Yields depend on plot size. Chicken coop. So basically, I can spend my money to expand what they have there. I don't see where the coin is, though. I guess you just have to wait. Alright, so we're at 6 timber. At 10 timber, I can make basically like a subdivision over here. New mercenary companies are available. I have no idea what that means yet. We'll get there. Exposed stacks are getting soaked. I've already got the queue to build things to store them. That's just waiting for it to actually happen. See, there's one. Yeah, we're already building both those things, and I'm trying to save up for the houses. And so we're drawing food from the berry deposit. Why is our approval rate 49%? Basically homelessness. Which, one more wood and I can place down this giant neighborhood I was going to put down. It's almost like people don't like living out just in a field for a month. Where's their sense of adventure? Oh, I have to actually assign workers to the granary. That makes sense, I guess. You do not need to assign workers for the well. Cool. And we're up to 10 wood, so let's go ahead now and get the houses going. I'm going to try going from this corner this time. Why are you 18 this time? I see. Yeah, so we gotta keep saving up some more wood. Oh, good. It's actually showing me the wood on this menu. So we gotta save up more wood. I'll put it this way. It'll give us way more houses than we need right now. This is probably not how I should be approaching this. I am delaying satisfying the basic needs of my people by quite a bit, which is a whole big thing. Right, it's not even winter not yet, nothing to be angry about. I know, right? Some people just want to sleep under the stars. Where is their sense of adventure? So, what makes me curious is if you leave the field to follow, does that mean I could, like, literally create nutrients? So, like, if I had an area that was just, this area is, like, rubbish for growing stuff. Let's see, you didn't expect to get all 18 in your factor? 7 meals on one day? Oh, I see what your confusion was, Chris. Yeah, no, that's, when you're doing factor 75, you're literally ordering, it's like, that's the week you're ordering. And then, like, the next week pops up, the next week pops up, the next week pops up. I understand why there's a confusion, because it's like, oh man, 18 meals is a lot of meals. I just assume you're like feeding a family or something. I understand the confusion now. Yeah, I know it is a pre-prepared meal service, so like you can't eat factor? Okay. There we go. So let's sort out the houses. So the next thing I think I want to do is the farmhouse. You had the blackened salmon today? Yum yum. Yeah, no, I had the truffle pork chop the other day. Was really happy with that. For those who aren't catching what's going on, we just did a well, I mean, technically we're still in the Factor 75 sponsorship stuff, but like I did the sponsored streams already. This is gonna put in our road over here, but yeah. Weird. I have never heard of anything like that, Snow Fox. I can only guess it's some way they prepare it that you have, like, you know, something that messes with you. Like a food allergy or something. That farmhouse is much bigger than I thought it would be. Alright, so we're getting a bunch of houses built. Stocks damaged by weather. Look, man. Unassigned family need to... Look. Running out of fuel. Come on! I'm assuming the wood cutting is our fuel. So the problem is now I don't have enough unassigned people. And because I don't have enough unassigned people, we don't have workers. I'm hoping we can quickly get the ox to carry the stuff back. Then I'm going to unassign the people from the storehouse so that we have that. You're sick if you eat vegetables? That's gotta be really challenging. Future food has become past food? Gotcha. Yeah, no, it'd be tricky to eat a no vegetable diet. Yeah, no, I'm sorry to hear that. Especially since it's such an uncommon thing. I imagine eating out also has to be difficult. You know, you like outside, like going out to like a sit-down place where they like serve like, you know, your typical sides and all that. If it's more like a la carte stuff, that'd probably be a lot easier. Because in a la carte you can be like, okay, give me the pulled pork. Well, what do you want with it? No. I didn't say something with it. There's no with it, just the pork. You cannot eat out? Yeah. No, I'm sorry to hear that. I know food allergies get tricky. I have a handful of people I've known who, as they've gotten older, have developed food allergies, which I've always gone back and forth of what would be more difficult, going from someone who is able to eat a whole bunch of stuff and then later on in life you develop food allergies, because that's a pretty normal thing, or someone who was never able to eat at the beginning. It really is a toss-up of what is tougher, because like in one hand, you don't know what you're missing if you haven't had it, so maybe it's not that big a deal, but also then it can be very frustrating to deal with. And on the other hand, when you've eaten a bunch of stuff and you love it or like it or whatever, and then later on in your life you can't eat it. It doesn't even need to be allergies. It could be like health reasons. Gotcha. Well, that's a bummer. I imagine that requires a lot of supplements to deal with. Because getting your proper nutrients without that, it's gotta be rough. Beans? Well, I'm thinking more like vitamin A, vitamin A is probably fine. Vitamin C, vitamin B, like those kind of things. It's gotta be tricky. Alright. The settlement level has increased. To get more population, you need to have enough empty burgage plots, and an approval needs to be over 50. Okay. A strong militia is paramount to the survival of any settlement. Luckily, a shipment of weapons has arrived, and you'll now be able to create your first militia banners to serve you and to protect your people. However, they will need more weapons to equip all the people as your settlement grows, either by making them or importing them from other lands. Okay, so we do have one unassigned family. So it feels like I want to always keep one unassigned family to run around and construct stuff. Can I take a stroll? As soon as I remember where... Oh, here we go. Apparently I was hiding out behind some buildings. Not a creeper. Yep, so we've got our couple of houses over here. We've got our lovely
to finish this building. It's been most embarrassing to run out halfway through.
Cool.
Have you marked the joist for the rafters already?
I'm not loving the darkening on the edges of the screen. Yeah, the cave fences are good. I'm not liking where it's kind of like a circle and it's dimmed on the edges. I wonder if I could turn that off. Because that is not volumetric. Nope, it doesn't look like that's there. That to me needs to be something you can toggle on and off. Yeah, no, the cave physics are fun and all that. But yeah, where it's got like the weird shading on the corners, not loving that. Oh, hang on, that bot shouldn't be still doing that. One moment, I forgot to kill the bot yesterday. Give me 2 seconds to make it go away. Because we do not need to be blasting an ad when I'm not being sponsored to do that. Like we're still having if new people sign up, it still supports it and all that. But I don't need the bot blasting our chat constantly. Boom. Die timer. Alright, and let's get back to it. There we go. Why no mouse? That was weird. When I clicked out of the window and back, it didn't have mouse. This is solo developer, by the way. Take that, AAA game companies. Yeah, no, it's my understanding is a solo developer who's hired on people for specific things here and there to support, which is, you know, totally fine. Like, that's normal. Going, hey, I need a texture for this, you know, let me get someone to do that. Hey, I need this, get someone to do that. I usually think that's actually a better idea than trying to completely solo. Because you completely solo, you have to try and train yourself in, like, every other discipline, which can be really difficult. Yeah, so you get to check out, like, all our little houses. I like that we can actually go into the properties and look at them. You know what? I think that's post-process. Actually, is that I know I'm messing with the graphics. I'm trying to see, because there's... Yeah, when I turn real fast, I get a shimmer over the shoulder, like there's duplication of the images. And I don't know what's causing that, but it's causing some texture stuff. I think it's labeled vignette if trying to find something. Yeah, I didn't see a vignette setting for it. And I know I keep popping in and out of here. Like, I've got volumetric clouds and all that, but that's not what we're looking at. So I thought maybe post-processing, but I'm not seeing any vignette setting unless it's someplace else in here. But I would assume that under grass. Change your anti-alias? That's what I was thinking as well. There we go. Yeah, and for those who don't know what the anti-aliasing is, the anti-aliasing is a whole thing around just trying to get you not to have, like, jaggies and all that on the edges of things. So, like, you can see, like, that in the distance looks a little pixelated until we get closer. You got yourself a nice deer there.
This is heavier than it looks.
Good. I would offer to help, but, like, you know, I'm the lord of this place, and, like, I'm dressed really nicely, and I really don't want to get that blood on it. You might not realize it, but our ability to wash our clothes is nowhere near as good back then. I've also noticed I can't quite look down at my character's toes because he turns around. We got real pointy shoes. Are you able to get rid of the shadow above the screen? No, not that I see. That is that's vignetting. Yeah, we can try a different anti-aliasing as well. I don't get too caught up just messing with that too much. Let's just try that one. And then we'll leave it alone.
Who approved this construction plan? A blind man or a fool? Or perhaps a blind fool?
Sir, you are lucky.
Don't forget to brace the frame of the door. We don't want it to sag.
Shut up, sir. You're lucky that this game does not allow me to kill you. Because you are talking in my face, who approved this?
Straight?
And it was definitely me.
Straight enough for this kind of work.
I to watch the cage switching and all that. Alright, so we got all that sorted out for right now. Okay. So, let's look at our supplies. We've got some timber going. We've got a little bit of stone. Our food is doing ridiculously well. So that's good news. Our fuel is terrible. So that's next to our business. I don't think I actually got that built, did I?
Bring this.
No, that's here. Yeah, so we're just waiting for that to get constructed. I do have a spare family working on it. But we're going to need to get that wood stocked up. Oh, here, let's increase your priority. Because I got spare houses, but I need to get that sorted real quick. We haven't been able to collect taxes yet. I'm assuming we'll get like a diplomacy or something at some point where we can say, alright, everyone, I need you to give me all your cash. Or I doth decree. Alright. Well, yeah, that's, for construction, you have to have some not assigned workers. That's a pretty common thing for these types of games, is that people who don't have something else to do construction. Otherwise, there's all that. I'm also, despite my better judgment, going to queue up another field. Mostly just to frame it out for now. I wonder why it won't let me click the button. It'd be good if it'd tell me the reason why I can't. Because it won't let me, but it doesn't give me feedback as to what's wrong. Interesting. Not particularly helpful, but interesting. Yeah, because I'll let those follow for right now. Yeah, no, I didn't receive a key for Frostpunk 2, so I'm also not willing to pay to get access to it early. Especially with how many people are going to be playing it, it really doesn't strategically make sense for me to get into it. Alright, so woodcutter. So we no longer have someone available to do construction. I can live with that for right now. Yeah, no, I'll definitely play Frostpunk 2 at some point. I do absolutely adore the first game. I played on the channel multiple times. I'm just not down with the idea of paying extra to play a game early. But I'll just wait. I'll wait till like kind of it calms down a little bit. And I'll probably check it out. There's enough games coming out right now that I don't feel any pressure to play any specific one if it don't get a hold of it early. Not enough supplies for, like, you need food or wood. Well, I'm making the wood right now. That's what we're doing right now. We have everyone assigned. Our woodcutters are absolutely decimating the tree line pretty fast, which is a bit concerning. But yeah, so we should be able to get our supplies sorted out relatively quick. Hopefully get a new family moving in here. What else can we do in the meantime?
Heavier than it looks.
You want a church for an amenity.
We all know what that means, don't we?
I'll add that to the list.
Come along, lad.
Oh, you require a lot of stuff we don't have. "11-bit studio games are pretty buggy at launch anyways." Yeah, I don't know one way or the other on that one. Alright, so we got our new people moved in, so that's excellent. Because that means that we got construction people again. So we can let this process for a little bit. Another thing I'm going to need is I am going to need meat. And I did mention earlier, I really appreciate that this game lets you move most buildings without penalty, because it's just one of those things. I understand in real life you can't just pick up a house and move it kind of thing, but there is a certain amount of interest when it comes to a bunch of these things to be able to benefit from. Let's also move that to be a high priority, because we've got extra houses now. I have 3 more houses that I need if the UI is cleared there. Let's see, you've seen a video where the Amish picked up a barn and moved it? Oh yeah. But yeah, generally though, it's like, you'll have people argue, it's like, but it's not realistic that you can just get stuff up without loss. I'm like, also, when I click a button here and accidentally, 100 wood and 50 stone and iron and all that disappears, and you go, no, cancel. And then it's like, but you only get half of it back. It's a very feels bad man kind of thing, and not the kind of mistake that really happens very often in real life. Is there any kind of pollution or noise or other? Yeah, there is in-game pollution, like certain things make noise and all that. It was one of the UI things here. There's smell pollution and fire hazard pollution. These are works in progress. I don't know how much they work and all that. But right now, just everything is green. I'm assuming that'll get later on when we start getting like blacksmiths and all that is where noise pollution will come in. Because, you know, I have the blacksmith sitting there just like pounding away on their hammer and all that. Yeah, no, I did say it was an early access release. And like I said, I don't necessarily disagree. It's actually a thing that I know a bunch of the creators in the circles that we have mixed feelings on, because on one hand, like, oh, I see. On one hand, we do have a pressure to play early access games because that's what people want to see and like know how they are and all that kind of stuff. On the other hand, while there are some really good early access games, you get really burned out on playing games that are not quite done. Then you have to drop it, and by the time you get back, you don't know what's going on, and it's a whole thing. Let's see. After you reach the next settlement level, you will be granted development point to spend unlocked development branches to make your region more efficient. To enact policies, you need to raise your administration level by building administration buildings like the Manor. Okay, so I have one development point. We could go into basic equipment down here. We have the heavy plow and the orchard over there. We have forest managing. So this is more into like, this is doing forestry stuff. This is farming. This is combat. And this is trade. I'm going to go with the orchard first, because I like orchards. We have policies. I cannot assign any policies yet that I'm aware of. And these are early access, not available yet. And then production, we don't see anything yet. Hey, Usei. Thank you so much for the 10 stream streak. Getting your extra 450 points. Really do appreciate that. Right. So as a creator, you feel pressure to 100%, you know, to hop in and play the early access games because people generally want to see. There's all that. Does the game make sense to me as early access? If you're a solo dev and you don't want to sell your game to a company, give you control. Well, yeah, so early access a lot of times is the thing. The game is in development, especially when you're talking like smaller studios and all that, where they don't have much of a budget. Early access can be whether or not you make a game at all. Because genuinely, without being able to leverage early access, you would just not have the funding to see it through, so you'd have to quit making your game halfway through. Because to be clear, the vast majority of games that start will never see the light of day. That they will be failed projects. Hey, Infinity Simplex, how's it going? But yeah, and then there's also like signing up with a publisher and then losing your control over your product, which is where a lot of games get released really early. It's pressure from the publisher who, they want to get their money. And all depending on the style the publisher runs, you got to worry about all that kind of stuff. That said, I am getting really annoyed with games these days that you look at the game and they sell the early access as a premium price. So instead of like in the past early access, you'd have a game that when it's finished is a $60 game. And like you have early access and it goes, okay, well, because it's so early, it's $15. And then it gets farther along and it's $20. And then it gets farther along, it's $30. And then finally when it releases, it's $60. And now you've got ones like, no, this is the enthusiast early version, premium release, $90, so you can play it 3 days before everyone else of an early access game. And you're like, what? Come on. And also even like released games that's happening, like Starfield and that when it released, where they're like, all right, if you want to play it 3 days earlier or whatever it was, you gotta pay an extra $30 or whatever it is. And the way I go, hey, you know what the marketing really is? that 3 days early is the normal release date, the 3 days later, that's the we're punishing you because you weren't willing to spend our higher price date. How are you playing this game? Steam says it's not out yet. Because I am a streamer, I have received an influencer key. So they have given me a key to the game. Resources were stolen by bandits. Let me actually update my title so that's clear. Oh, there. Thanks for the key, devs. Because I want to make sure people are aware that I have received a key. They aren't paying me to play it. They aren't, like... I'm not getting, like, merchandise or anything like that. No cash. They just said, hey, here's a key. Have fun. I don't have any obligations to you know... No storage space left in the hunting camp. You're literally sitting next to the storehouse and the granary. So, deal with it? But yeah, so it's just one of those things. They didn't say, hey, please speak positively about our game. Hey, make sure you show XYZ. Literally just said, here's the game. Hey! Belnor, how's it going? I do hope you had fun. Were you playing, was it Fallout 76 I saw earlier? I know I saw it either earlier today or yesterday. I saw you playing Fallout 76. I guess I had the update that came out and all that good stuff. I've been meaning to go back to Fallout 76. I played at the very beginning of it and enjoyed it. I know a lot of people did not have positive feedback about it back then, but I personally, is like, my stance is it was a decent game, but maybe the, you know, tying it to Fallout was the mistake. But still, I've heard nothing but good things, like that it's not Hello Games No Man's Sky level redemption story, but that they've done a good job of redeeming it. Yeah, exactly. It's much better with the NPCs. That, I've been meaning to go back to. It's one of those things of just finding time, because unfortunately it's just not one that I don't think the audience I built would have a big interest in it. But yeah, for those who don't know Belnar, absolutely fantastic content creator, fellow member of the Halcyon Frequency stream team, plays lots of indie games and all that good stuff, and playing some Fallout 76, which isn't an indie game, but, you know, but plays a lot of indie games over there. But, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. But, definitely someone we're checking out. Does like a lot of Valheim and a whole bunch of other stuff. So definitely good times over there. Okay, so we can go ahead and we have our farmhouse. I'm still gonna keep the queue open. Okay. So I have 7 families and 10 houses, so I have 3 houses still available. Our homelessness is going down, so that's good news. I don't think we try and grow these fields because it's already August. Realistically... Oh, it's actually saying we would sow our crops this one. Let's experiment. So...
Take a sip.
Abandoned camp was sighted. Where's that? Okay, so that's a good ways away from us. Yeah, I haven't had a chance to get into Baldur's Gate 3. I started the Act 1 like 3 separate times off stream. Like, I messed with it once on stream, but like 3 times off stream. But just with all the things, the too many projects I get myself into, I would start it, get a little ways in, and then something would come up, and I wouldn't get back to it for like, you know, 2-3 weeks. I wouldn't remember at all what was going on. And so it'd start a new character. And that was just the cycle that would repeat like 3 times. I'm like, all right, I need... Like, it seems like an excellent game, but it's like, I need a time where I've got a nice little gap here. Create new units. Oh, administration. Place on an empty, claimed territory in order to settle it. That requires 250 money. We don't have any money, so that's not going to happen. Manor Lord. Or Manor, we require materials I have no idea how to get. Trade. We can make a trading post. Let's go ahead and wedge that in here. A livestock trading post. Worry about that later. Yeah, so I'm still figuring a lot of this out. So we got a bloomery, but we don't have iron ore yet, so let's not worry about that. We've got sheep farms, we've got pastures. I haven't built any pastures at all. Pastures, not pastures. Go and tag that up there. Alright. Just take 2 months off and play Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah. Gonna have that end in a right angle. There, so we got a road going around the pasture. Interestingly enough, it says nothing stored aside. We can't choose livestock yet. I'm gonna have to have the livestock trading thing. So we're gonna let that run for a little bit while we get this all going on. I think we're relatively okay on a lot of stuff. We're starting to get our food in here. Yeah, so we got like a lot of food on stock. We're getting some decent amount of fuel building up. I don't know if that's nearly enough or not for us. We're gonna figure that out. So we have the sheep farm. So we need to import. We have a windmill that will turn grain into flour. We'll probably want that. And then we can make bread. So we'll get one person working the field. Farming cycles. If the field is not set to fallow, workers will plow it and sow crops as soon as possible. Yield will increase as it grows and is harvested in September during the harvest season. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, make you wheat, set up a crop rotation, and it'll say follow. We'll try that for a little bit and see what happens. Oh, I didn't think that was going to close from really clicking on itself. That's fine. We'll set up a crop rotation on you as well. But we'll set you to follow, then wheat. And they'll get a third field. We'll see how that's going on. Alright. So approval is going up because we're getting a lot more food variety going on. And whatnot. Yeah, so building stuff. How are we doing so far as number of families? So we got 8 families, 10 households. So let's see what we can do about this. Let's take this road that we started building over here. Actually, let's start from the other side. Hitching post.
Keep your half warm.
Okay, for a little extra money, we can add more to that. In the meantime, let's set up more houses.
Why do I have to carry this alone?
Oh, this is heavier than it looks.
I'm guessing it's because that's in the way. I do feel like it could take it, advantage of having prompts. Relocate, it's free. So let's relocate it to be there.
On and on.
Disconnected from major trade routes. Alright. So let's see. We have minor trades that we could export stuff and all that. We'll worry about that in a minute. I want to get these houses sorted out. So my hope is... Can't really see in this corner.
Step right up and sample.
So I don't understand why it's unhappy.
We all know what that means, don't we?
That's the thing that confuses me. It's red, I can't click on it. I have the wood. But it doesn't really give me the information I need.
Clever. Perhaps he simply does not know how to cook properly.
Try splitting it halfway.
This is heavier than it looks.
And it still won't let me. That side, it's okay. You're excited about this masterpiece? Gotcha. I want to see something in this game on fire? Okay.
Bring this here, move that there.
Interestingly enough, I can place you there. I'm guessing it's going to make a new road there? Oh, road access. That's not what I wanted to do. Alright. That's one thing we could do to help this cause. Put a road back there. Now let's try this. If I try and do this, where I take up the whole property. Still doesn't like it.
Gets rainy like this and the wife when I get out of bed. Says her head hurts. I tell her maybe you didn't scream at me all the time, wouldn't hurt. Don't listen to her.
Just some of the dialogue, you're like, look, man, it's not a smart way of approaching it. So I think it's just mad at the weird angle we've got going over here. So let's try cutting it like that. Okay, and then now... Just happy with it a moment ago.
Bring this here, move that there.
Alright, so we're a little low on wood.
Well,
We'll get all that going on.
simply a bad batch.
Feels very, colonials don't have city planners. Yeah, not its whole thing. We'll get it figured out. We're building a lot of houses and all that, getting all that going. I'm trying to have like a vaguely like city center kind of area where most of my residential is based around. We'll surround that with a bunch of farmland and other supporting industries and whatnot. Looking at that, what's going on with my AC? Because it is getting peppy in here, and it's probably like, let me save you money by just turning off entirely. Yeah, no, that's way too hot. There we go. Alright. Just waiting for us to get a bit more wood in here.
Gave the old ox a handful a month old.
And that should handle us for houses for a while. We'll need to upgrade our houses to make them less not good. But that's fine. Give me a little bit more wood, please. Because see, we got the warning. I'm assuming that's the berries are gone. Come on. One more wood. Really?
Why do I have to carry this?
Just we'll leave that for just putting something else in there. I'm not gonna fight it. We're already good there. Okay. I didn't mean to zoom in that much. So you're unhappy that the foraging hut can't find anything, so we're gonna go ahead and cancel out of having them work that for right now. Put a second person on the farm. And we're waiting on some of these other businesses to finish. Once we get the windmill, we can get that considered. So I still have 2 people. So what else can we get building that'll add some productivity to us? Got logistics, we're not gonna worry about that as much. Mining, stone cutting, and mining pit. Alright, so I feel like we're going to need to get a road sorted here. So I don't think it needs to be at the stone. No deposit in range. So you need to be built on it.
Take a sip.
The other one does not.
What's the worst that could happen?
All right. And we can go ahead and we'll get that posture check because I'm being bad about it. Alright, so the poor people got to run all the way down there to work, so sorry to them. Alright, so we are in the winter. And pretty soon we'll start building out more for the properties and whatnot. We are getting some more food stalls and all that, and firewood stalls are popping in here. No clothing yet. One of the other things we saw was a livestock trading post. So we got the trading post. Is there something we are getting an overabundance in that we can trade away? So establish a trade route. After paying to establish a trade route. Okay, so I can't really do a trade route yet because I need money. So I got 3 families available. Once we get these set up, we'll build those. In the meantime, get more of them working at the farmhouses to get the fields sorted out. So that way when we have time for the actual crop, we can get that going. We got a bunch of building happening that's just going to take a while. So let's just ride through the winter. Hopefully we have enough firewood and all that. Resources stolen by bandits, 11 food. I am going to kill you, you know that, right? We got the bandit camp down here. So we'll need to deal with that. Let's see. The amount of money owned by villagers from this region can be used to import or converted into treasury via tax policy. That's fine. Meanwhile, livestock trading posts will be high, and grain reel will be, or the windmill will be high. And I'll make these high priority as well. Try and get all that built. All right. Honestly, being able to run around here is a nice touch. I like the ominous blinking door here. That's not what I was expecting. Can I just walk through every building? Is like collision not a thing in the game? Not collision's a thing. Well, that's a creepy building. Nice shoes? I know, right? Yes, I've got the hunting location over there. We've got our market over here.
Step right up and sample. Don't be shy, good
Step
sirs
right
and
up
ladies.
and sample.
You've got one thing in that basket, sir. You look like you're selling literally the
Full
same
quality
thing.
Berries, berries,
Possibly.
bursting with flavour and fit for a king.
Yep, so there's plenty to run around. It's kind of cool that you can like run around and take a look at everything. It's a nice touch. Because like a lot of these games, when you sit up here, about the best you could do is like zoom in real far and then try and see what's going on. And quite often, it's just hard to see anything meaningful. So being able to just change their perspective can help. That's one of the things that was both amazing and then surprising they never continued with was like the SimCity series. Where they had like Simcopter and all that kind of stuff. That they set that up and then they never revisited it. So it's just an interesting choice. Don't forget about the Cape movement? Yep. And even though it shouldn't matter because it won't be big enough. I don't know why it doesn't. Yeah, I do wish the game gave me a little bit more feedback about, hey, this is why you can build here, but not there. Because it does feel like there's a lot of... Oh, there's like a really good spot up here. It does feel like there's a lot of cases where the game won't let you build, but it doesn't really make it clear why. Alright, we're in January. Alright, livestock trading post. Okay. So export, import price. Import, I would like 2. We can't afford 2. I would like a sheep. Okay, we take that. We can remove 1 from this. Even though that's not really going to function yet. Honestly, take that person back off that. Once we get the wheat, we can start running the windmill, and we can start getting the bakery and all that going up, and that should help. Our approval rating is okay. And the reason it's okay is because we resolved our homelessness, but our food variety is not quite what it was because we've run out of berries for the time because it's winter. And we're knocking down the animal population, which is part of the reason I'm trying to get these farms up, is they seem like they'll be way better for sustainable, you know, sustainable goods. Alright, so we got the mining pit done. So get in the pit. I should go ahead and take another one off there. Because then they're going to get the stone cutter camp done. We'll get that going. Let's see. Roll up top. Is that the number 33 people or 33 families? That's 33 people. Of the 33 people, I have 11 level 1 families. And then to get higher level families, I need to do stuff like improve their properties and all that. Which the primary thing to do that would be to build a church, which, you know, there's more I need to do that. Alright. And so they're kind of rushing through the winter to get there. I like that they let me set a crop rotation for these. You know how it goes. A bandit camp was sighted farther down there. Okay. Yeah, so we're definitely going to need to start getting taxes at some point, which is going to require me to build the manor. Alright. Raiders near. We have received reports of, let's see, a band of raiders roaming nearby lands. Should we track their steps? Another ruler's army was sighted. Well... You create your first malicious units. Male villagers will be distributed, will be evenly distributed between all militia units. They will then try to find the required equipment. The weapon and shield depends on the unit type, while the maximum quality of body armor and helmet depends on the villager's residential level. After, I'm assuming that's supposed to be bringing all necessary equipment home, the unit recruits are marked as ready to rally. Only then will you be able to rally. Got you. Okay. So we don't have what we need for them. So we can see what happens. It's like a proper group. We're not supposed to get raided for 2 years, according to what the thing said. So that's a bit concerning, considering this is our first winter. Let's see. Survive your first year, face the winter, and have your settlers not abandon you. Aww. Alright, so we got a new family here. Keep that moving. I'm curious, like... what we've got going on with that. We'll need to acquire more weapons to build up our militia more. We're pretty early on, so I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot with this.
Summer's coming soon, and soon the beating sun.
Alright, so we're getting iron ore. Now build the bloomery a little outside of town. That way we're not making all the noise and smell, pollution, all that. We'll also need the smithy. We'll do the same thing. And the clay furnace.
There's no oval. Tomorrow, find a new home.
And the malt house. All the stuff that's going to be potentially smelly. The tannery. The weaver shop. The dyer. Since we just plunk them all down one after the other without any consideration. And we'll need a saw pit. This will be like our production out here. Meanwhile, I will need a forester's. We've got our woodcutter here. Let's put our foresters up there. I'm building entirely too much right now. But I'm going to kind of just like let it go. And then as stuff gets built, we will assign people and adjust as necessary. So I've currently got 12 families and we're about to get 21 houses total. So we'll get all that going. Yes, this field they're working on prepping. Alright. Because I think the first thing you want to do is get 3 fields so that one field is always being harvested while the other 2 are being followed. And then we'll see if we can't like do 2 seasons of growing stuff in a follow or like what the balance is there, because we don't really know. We'll figure it out. You know, let's take this road. It might as well connect. How are you doing? Where did their army go? Where is... oh, their army is going after the bandit camp. Okay. That'd be convenient. Are you not going to fight? You're literally standing at it. Well, that's gone pretty easily. It didn't even have a fight animation. It just walked over and went, piff. Get them back to foraging. That does mean our building is stalled out. We'll take one more person off of that. So our approval rating is continuing to climb. I am noticing like the homelessness just slowly goes down. So like if I get like a massive negative in 1 month, it'll just slowly tick it back down to wherever it's going to go. But I think that's fair, as like it's not it whiplashes one way or the other, it's a slow up and down.
Summer's coming soon, and soon the beating sun.
Right, so we're plowing that field. Approach from this side. Okay. So I'll take this one. It will also be a wheat field. So we're going to say follow, crop rotation, wheat. Yes, that's 2. Alright, so I actually want you to be wheat and then you to follow. There we go. So that way one of those fields should always be up doing something per year. We'll see how that goes. Is that army moving down towards the bandits? I don't know where you're going right now. Yeah, no, it looks like they're just going and taking care of the brigands for me. I can get behind that. That's something positive in my book. Someone else is showing up and taking care of my problems for me. A new family has moved in. Excellent. Another ruler's army has been sighted. Yeah, nope, they're still here. We are working on building up the industry to prepare for being able to fight on our own. We're actively building it. It's gonna be a little bit. And then we'll build our manor somewhere in here to have an administration thing. Let's see, what is the era? Medieval, dark, Renaissance? It looks like generic peasant right now. I actually don't know. It's not 100% clear to me whether we're talking like proper medieval, like, you know, moving to Renaissance, whatever. Yeah, so we've got bunch of that stuff going on. So storage is full at the stone cutter. There's my land. Storage is full at the stone cutter. I'm probably have to build a second storehouse, or actually probably just assign more people to the storehouse. Or assign any people to the storehouse, apparently. I don't know when we didn't have people for some reason. Generic storage is full. Okay, it doesn't look full to me, but alright. Add that to the queue of things to deal with. More than likely, I'm going to have to do with these storehouses is I'm going to need to go in here and probably be able to assign materials to it or something. I haven't. Oh no, for a reason I thought it was full because there was 7 or 6 icons, but it looks like we can do more than that. I don't know why it's marked as full. Is it trying to warn me that it's getting full? Oh, no, you're telling me that's full. It looks like they might be leaving. Alright. Either way, we just need to let them keep building, because once we get some more materials, we can start upgrading things. Oh, we have our sheep. Our singular sheep. I didn't see, was there someone whose job it was to take care of the sheep? Oh, we have pastor and we have sheep farmer. Or sheep farm. It's a separate building.
Summer's coming soon, and soon the beating sun. Keep your half warm and your home.
Alright. Okay, so we're making good progress in sowing. We're not in the right time of year for sowing, so we're just doing our best. But it is what it is. But then we'll start being able to make bread. My hope is that we'll see the percents go up as we do this. Hey, Otan, how's it going? Wouldn't a singular sheep be a shoop? No idea. Alright, so edge scrolling needs to go. Because when I go check the other things, they're just like swinging the screen again and again. There we go. There we go, because sometimes I have to check stuff. Alright. Got a new family in here. And I keep assigning all the extras to the farm, just so they can kind of catch up and handle stuff. Until more buildings get built. Because I'm working on it, but I want to always just keep someone building stuff while we have people running around. Because I need some stuff to be doing production. So another thing I probably need to do is at our ox post is we can get an extra ox. That's gonna be worth it. So let's get ourselves a second ox.
Why do I have to carry this alone?
Not underscore enough underscore wealth under. Yep, that's a dialogue kind of thing. But pretty soon it looks like we're gonna be getting our saw pit done. And once that gets sorted, we should be able to get the timber, which will let us build upgrades into that to a bunch. We have used our entire town's full wealth. Let's see, does Twitch, the Manor Lords have Twitch integration yet? If not, how long do you estimate it takes until it's created? So, I was under the impression it did. I haven't found or seen it. And... Oh, there's a separate thing here? Oh, this is like literally the same things. They just got like a mini menu here. Okay, well, except for it doesn't have language support in this one. Still. But, I'm never gonna have a clue what development cycle for, you know, a game is gonna be. Like, only the developers will have a clue about that. Unless they've, like, announced a date or something like that. So, even if I wanted to answer that question, there should be no reason I would know it. Yeah, we're gonna need more ox to chip stuff around. We've got a second one that's gonna help, but... What is being built right now? Because it was looking like they were building the saw pit. I really don't care what they're working on as long as something's getting done. Go ahead and get the saw pit to be a little bit higher priority, just to make sure we knock that out. Because they have stuff going on there. Saw pits make you think of Robot Wars. Oh yeah, with like the buzz saws that come out of the floor. Yeah. Pick up the speed a little bit. That's always one of the difficulties with these games is you almost have to keep them in fast forward pretty much constantly. They do come with a lot of downtime, which is totally fine. Like, these are the types of games, I call them ant farm games, where you sit there and you build up a little bit, and you kind of like let it run for a while, you build up a little bit, you let it run for a little while, you build up a little bit. Like, they're really good for that kind of play. It's a little trickier when you're trying to, you know, play on stream and all that, because that's like Farthest Frontiers in our game I really enjoy. But it's a very slow game, Farthest Frontier is. Like, a very slow game. Okay, so got another food stall build, so that's good news. Yeah, so with the saw pit, then I'll be able to go into some of the storage houses and that. A bunch of these have upgrades. So yeah, when I get 10 lumber, like 10 planks, I can increase the storage by a factor of 10. Yeah, so you know, mentioned Twitch integration. Yeah, no, I assume if there was going to be a thing, it would be advertised in a big way. That said, I usually don't care about Twitch integration with like city builders, like these big ones, because usually there's so many people that it's not meaningful. Some of them, like, I would love to see Timberborn have Twitch integration where you just had like a name pool or something. I could see that being worthwhile. But a lot of these I honestly feel like that. The problem with Timberborn is your beavers die of old age too fast. It's the whole thing. Yeah, so we're getting all these businesses built, but we don't have enough people to work them. Which is fine. I think having them vacant doesn't really hurt anything. Got the malt house, we don't need that yet. We'd start doing this to get our materials going. I'm just gonna let them keep building though for right now. So I can get one to be on the sheep. When we get the tannery and the weaver done, we'll get those going. And then the bloomery and the smith we'll get going as well here in a minute.
But we all know what that means, don't we?
Okay, so that shuts down this place. That needs to be set to high. Because the larger house needs to be done right away. Let's get the tannery going, because I do have a bunch of hides from hunting. So I'll get that going. Do this. Take one off the farm. So now I've got someone taking care of the singular sheep. Alright. So, slow but steady progress. One of the next things I'm going to want to do is try and get this church to start upgrading these houses. What's the church going to cost us? Where do I want to put you? Yeah, church on the end of the road. Another person as a farmhand. Got the person there. Space, space for your sheep and lambs to graze. Without enough space, the animals may run away. Pasture space 0 out of 5. Pasture space 1. Oh, I think it was saying the sheep farm itself can have 5 sheep, and then this one can handle 59 sheep. I see. So we could actually use a lot more sheep. If we get more money, it'd be good to sit there. Public order. So we've had no crime lately. Our people are really happy. A bandit camp was sighted. That one's pretty close to our border. I will eventually need to deal with that. So far, the bandits are just like stealing stuff, and nothing that's particularly that big a deal to me. So I haven't felt like a big deal to go after them. One could make the beavers have family titles, then pass those when they didn't out. Other titles could be named for chatters. Yeah, no, usually the way I've seen Twitch integration work well with some of these styles of games is they will have it where you'll have like a name pool, and then anyone who is active in chat, as in they've said something in chat, gets added to the name pool to show up there with Twitch integration. I found that to be relatively fine. You do have to watch it with some games where they have, like, the people die and have awful things happen to them, because people can get pretty not okay with that. So some of them will even have it where, like, there's an opt-in thing where you, like, you push a button on the side and it gets in there. You also have ones that are, like, Cult of the Lamb, where you, like, you do the whole thing where there's like a whole dice roll and all that, but those only work if the rate people die is much slower, kind of thing. Well, RimWorld doesn't have its own built-in Twitch integration, and RimWorld's one of those ones that usually a colonist will be around for a while. Like, don't get me wrong, you have the ones that show up and they immediately get killed. That does happen. Is there a literacy metric in this game? Not that I'm aware of. It doesn't seem like people have individual skills or anything, like you can't even click on them. So you can just chuck them to anywhere. Yeah, no, you can name people in RimWorld, and then there is Twitch integration mods and all that that do, you know, some of them do a pretty good job, some of them not as good. Alright, so let's try going to... get the bloomery going. And then from there I can get the smithy. RimWorld has mods like TTK or Twitch chat. Yeah, I generally don't factor when I'm discussing like how a game does or doesn't work, that kind of stuff. I generally don't factor those into the conversation most of the time. Because it can give a false premise that's like, oh, you can do all these things in this game. It's like, right, but the reality is you can do all these things in this game with mods. Which is a different discussion as far as I'm concerned. Alright, so I need to be at a small village to reach that. They still have 3 extra houses. Okay, so you can all have like workshops and all that added to your homes. Interesting. Alright, so trading post, trade. So we would have to establish a regional trade route which requires money. So you say to start exporting planks. I think that's set up. And the reason I'm saying export planks is because that is kind of a renewable thing for us now. Oh, we never assigned a person to this. I need you to plant more trees. And then go here, we'll take one of those back. Did you actually get the... I mean, the wheat didn't die, so I'm assuming you harvested all the wheat? They, like, look away and the wheat is all stored now? What? What?
Thank you Ceresi _the_mage for gifting a sub to Snowfox Face.
Thanks, Ceresi Mage, for gifting a tier 1 sub to Snow Fox Face. Snow Fox Face, you have yourself a nice advertisement-free viewing as well as access to the emotes, whether you want them or not, through your through the Twitch sub. I'm guessing maybe it's in here, because it didn't die, but it went from being there to not being there, and we're still in fall, which is the harvest season. So I'm assuming they did harvest it. And that's just in there. And it will be... Oh, okay, so they are making the flour, which does mean I need to go over to the bakery. And I'll need that person assigned. Who did I put over here already that needs to be unassigned now? Keep the tannery going. Keep the saw pit going. Oh, the bloomery. Yep, sorry. I need you doing construction. Gadoff is being claimed. Oh, so they are starting to encroach there. I mean, I don't have an army, so I'm definitely not going to fight their army. That sounds like a losing strategy. When they're like, we have brought our troops, and you go, I have brought nothing. Cool. Alright, so bear with me, chat. It is being about that time where my wife gets home and I run downstairs to grab a little bit of food. So I'm going to quickly do that and be right back. So that'll be a little quick, like 2, 3, 4, 5 minute break. I'm going to trigger the ad early, which is way early, but it does mean then instead of having like 40 minutes to there, we'll have an hour and 45 minutes to the next ad. So I'm going to do that real fast. But in the meantime, I'm going to put up my away screen and thank you, screen, and I'll thank you, and I'll be back here in just a couple minutes and all that good stuff. And I'll be right back. That's one of the things that irks me is like I do try and keep right, but like, you know, there'll be someone going slow and you'll start passing them and it's just no. Don't worry about it. I should have just taken the wrong turn. I misread my GPS and that was the thing. Engine malfunction. I think that's the first time I've had that. For the record, I actually think that might be the hardest collision I've done in this game so far. Alright. Of course. Of course. There is entirely too many things moving. It's making it hard to keep track of stuff. Oh no. I didn't realize the blizzard puts this much fog either. This sucks. Alright, I've got zombies on the right, zombies in the main door. Zombie literally right there. This is sketch. Hang on. What? What is that nightmare? Like, the helicopter didn't bring that much. No, I get that's from the trap, but it's the sheer number that's like, what? What? I don't have anywhere that needs power generation right now. Take that back, I do. Well, that's a game over. We just killed about 645 people there. I forgot multiplayer has the phantom doors that just randomly open and scare the crap out of you.
What? I have not come across these?
It's a bug in multiplayer where doors will just randomly pop open for no apparent reason. No zombies. Like,
okay.
I just had my bedroom door open. There's no zombies here. Just, you know, letting me know.
Also, you know,
Metal pipe is actually a pretty Crap weapon. No. I missed. So pretty much what we're looking for is we're looking for large bodies of water to just check the bottom to see if there's chests in the bottom. Now down says I do have the metal detector because we've seen a lot of the nymph that drops it. The catch is life crystals get priority. Oh, the life crystal wasn't a life crystal, it was a boulder. I've been caught by that once before this run. Why did I think that was gonna work? No, don't say that way, I don't have any of the... Hey, see? Perfect. It went exactly according to plan. Obviously, it did not go at all according to plan. That said, we actually didn't take any damage from that. And it certainly could have gone worse. Alright, we got Slingshot in the lead. You love the UFO car? Yep. Yeah, I don't know. Oh. Someone shot Speed Racer. And Rose is getting lightninged and sent to the moon. Wait. Wait. They just skipped Rose to the lead. Rose got... Yeah, so problem is I can't walk in that middle part. Oh, hi. Hey, buddy.
Warning. Corruption detected.
I'm starting to get some real experience. Looks like I can scan this. I wonder what I'll find.
We're gonna take our chances with left. So, 60% chance nobody dies. They died. Perfect. Alright, let's open the door behind us. That's not the way I wanted to run. I wanted to run back this. Yeah, no, that's a mod. There's no... In Vanilla Project Zomboid, there is no win condition, there is no vaccine, there is no cure, there is no happiness here. There's just death. There's death and tears. That's Project Zomboid Vanilla. Bentley, be ready to get the heck out of Dodge. Because everyone else is expendable. If Bentley goes down, the run ends. That is not good. Bentley, keep running, buddy. Yeah, we just killed our run. Because mechs never leave. Yep. Yep, when they broke the door, that kind of just screwed us. Because, I mean, I should have dropped back here and bottlenecked them there. It's too little too late now. They're fully surrounded. Oh, well. This run has been taking way too long to do anything anyways, so I'm not super upset. Alright, I am back. Sorry about that. For those new to the channel, around 9 o'clock, I take a quick couple minutes to grab myself some food, as well as my wife gets home. And just because we have been being sponsored, not today we're not sponsored, but we have been being sponsored by Factor 75, there is another meal that is jalapeno... It's like jalapeno cheese chicken and cilantro rice and all that. So, just for those who are considering, just showing that off. I will say, I've had this one before. The truffle pork chop I had yesterday was a new one to me. I've had this one before, this one's good. I think the pork chop is better. But Tomb's having that today. Man, I'm enjoying it. It's nice because I don't have to plan the meals now. Because that's always going to the store, like, I'll grab... It's 2:30. Where is 9? Eastern United States. Work area is empty. Because you have foraged what little berries are, so I guess... We'll unassign you. And we've got the bread already going. And you finished with the large storehouse over here. Okay. And we got the large store... Why are the storehouses getting unassigned for people? Oh. Interesting. Okay. Thought I unassigned you. You'll unassign you. Alright. EST blah? Okay. Sorry? After establishing a trade route, a dedicated traveling merchant will regularly visit your region and trade only this specific type of good. Ah, so it still doesn't do us any good because I haven't established a trade route because I need money, which means I need taxes. Go back to Bloomery. And I need to be a small village to do the manor. And to be a small village... Well, I am a small village. Required settler level small village. Oh. Okay, where do I want to put this, actually? Let's give ourselves space to expand. Alright. Welcome to the Castle Planner. This is a work-in-progress feature. Here you can edit the layout of your castle and plan the construction of new wings and towers. When you press commit, the old layout will disappear and the new one will be constructed. For now, the cost is fixed. Okay. So at a point, all right, so let's cancel that real fast. It seems like the idea is I want to build this farther out here and then connect it. There's a big circle around here, I'm assuming matters. So walls and gates. Too far from any other modules. I see. Let's try that again. We have a garrison tower. Which apparently don't have enough goods. Oh, it's going to be the wood. Tax office. The most important building out of the entire area. Okay, so I see. So the question then is, if I build the manor and I include the town in it, which would be extremely expensive, if that'd work. I don't know how to adjust this, though. Let's just let it run on high and just see what happens. Because it's unclear, because it's going to choose that I didn't have enough materials, and then it was like, that's fine. And I knew the manor could take up a bunch of space, which is why I built it way out there. All right. And you'll see what happens later on. Yeah, they're taking over territory fast. But I need to get my taxes in order, because that's the big holdup, is I've got tons of supplies going on of various types. But I can't do anything with it because I need actual cash money. We get a little bit of money in here so we can operate the trading post. Then I can start, you know, effectively exporting things to bring money into the kingdom. We'll upgrade the pantry with some of our materials. Alright. Oh, they're beginning the process of getting the next field going. We need money, we need a militia, we need more resources, and we need, yes, we need everything. Pretty much. If it exists, may I has, please. I missed something. Okay.
Come on.
Alright, so we've got the manor almost built, and then we'll see what it takes to actually expand it. Alright, click on the Taxes tab after selecting your manor to set the levels of taxation. Taxes can boost your treasury and influence at the cost of making your population poorer. Yes. Yes.
Hammer and something needs to not move. I'll put it in its place. Just give me a hammer and something needs to not move. I'll put it in its place.
But how do I do the thing a moment ago where I was allowed to expand my castle? Because it's already here. And it let me get all these options, and then those options disappeared. And it can't move this one. It don't have the move option here. Oh, here we go. Open Castle Planner. There we go. So tax office, cosmetic only. Oh, I actually did get that. Provides garrison. Oh, it already has the planning thing. We just don't have the materials. Okay, so we need 90 planks.
Gave the old ox a handful of money.
Can you believe them dry? Because supposedly we only have 2 wealth in our town. So we'll see what happens.
This is heavy.
Generic storage is full. Get you in there. The malt house won't do it good. Get a weaver in here.
Bring this in.
Alright. You know, keep all that moving. We're currently up to 23 families and 23 houses, so we are also due to expand our housing. Oh, right, we're building our church. Let's make the church a priority because that's going to upgrade a bunch of these houses. And I assume by upgrading the houses, they'll be more taxable. I mean, we'll give them nicer living situations. And also they're more taxable. Yeah, so last time we got plus 16 because of the market, the food variety, as well as the clothing. And we're gonna knock it down by 7 because taxes. Policies available. Heck yeah. Citizens will skip every 5th meal, reduces food consumption, decreases approval. Wild animals on rich deposits breed twice as fast at the cost of reduced crop yield. Oh, well, policies are a bit lame because... Okay. Well, we won't worry about that. We don't have an arm of these. We got orchards. Where were the orchards? Because I don't see that listed here anywhere. We don't have the option here either. So we unlocked orchards, and I need to figure out where they are hidden here. Is it something that the forestry place does? Unlimited work area? No. The apiary requires beekeeping. Huh. So, actual question. Where the heck does the orchard happen? Because we've unlocked it, but I don't see anything here. I mean, maybe. We could check that. Trading post? No, I got the 4 options there. I can't import it if I want to have no money. We can try importing an apple and see what happens when we have enough money to do so. Alright, so church is almost done.
Take a sip. What's the worst that could happen?
Okay. Alright. Taking everyone off that for right now, so you keep having construction going. Alright, do we have a decent amount of wood? Yeah, we got tons of wood. Alright, so let's go here. It's time to build more houses.
Oh, this is heavier than it looks.
Alright. So we've got a bunch of that built over here. We'll leave a little space next to the church for if we need anything here. You'll build in this spot. And I'll make this the road they follow.
Come one, come all. Feast your eyes on our fine selection.
So it's only 10. We're expanding that. Put 2 over here. Alright, so lots of houses being built back there. Policies available. Am I getting even more policies that are showing up, or is it just literally going to harass me that policies are available? I think literally it's trying to say, hey, I don't need them to skip meals, though. Alright, the granary is done. And we're really low on timber because I just spent it all. As you do. We've got our wheat fields trying to wheat. And I am curious if, like, as we follow our fields and all that, if we will see this fertility change, or if that's like a permanent locked-in thing. Like, that's what makes me curious about this. Because it's not particularly clear if we can manipulate it or not, or if it's just hard, that is a good spot, that is a bad, like, this is a good spot, that's a bad spot. Because I'm tempted to sit there and try and lean in to do more with it. Yes, we got access to church. Let's pop down here. So this one has everything they need sorted out so far as, like, the... Yeah, so this one we have everything so far as their amenities sorted. We can upgrade to a level 2. Okay. So let's start upgrading our houses. What am I drinking? It's just like a Diet Coke product. We get a bunch of strategic resources. And I need both influence and money to make a move. Yeah, so I need 1,000 influence to make a move on that property. I've got 270. Because I definitely feel like I should have had the manor built way earlier. And then I didn't. But that is what it is. So, you know, not much you can do about that. So I am a bit behind on the influence and all that kind of stuff. It'll be curious. I have a bad feeling when we run out of territory that we're gonna run into enemy unit has been spotted. So we have actual brigands. I'm gonna wait till get closer, then we'll rally our people and try and defend ourselves. Yeah, we're just playing in this area. Declaration. War surprise. Negotiation. Need silver. Rhetoric. You have no rightful claim on these locations. Dear Outlaws, it's a pleasure to meet you. Alright, so upgrading these houses to level through. The raiders are near. I also don't know how to make the general call to arms and be like, let's go. Upgrade the next house. Dear Outlaws, it's a pleasure to meet you. We want to discuss need_silver. Hey, new family. Don't worry. It's a great... The wild animals have migrated. Well, stop it. Where is the rally button? It's probably here, isn't it? Oh, these are our people? Sure. Cool. They're apparently not good. Ready to rally. I don't understand how to control them. It says tab. But if I hold tab, I don't have much control. I guess they'll just overrun us because... Oh. Alright, so let's start moving. Because we got incoming outlaws. Alright. Soldiers try to push forward with their full force. Stand your ground. Soldiers try to stand their ground. Defense is doubled, but attack frequency is halved. Miss alert. Give ground. Slowly pushes the formation line backwards, luring enemies to follow.
Pick up the pace!
Fatigue, climbing, cohesion. So we have bonuses to our experience. And we are in our home region. So let them stand there and recover their fatigue for a little bit. To try and give us as much effectiveness as possible. They do outnumber us by just one troop. We'll see how that goes. Meanwhile, they're at like full effectiveness. The enemy has been spotted. Yes, I'm noticing that my retinue, because they're so heavily armored, they definitely get tired fast.
Here we go, boy.
All right.
Units, push! My liege! Attack! Kill them! Attack!
All right, let's see how this goes. The good news is it doesn't look like all of them are getting into it. Well, it looks like I only have one of my people who is not in it. The downside is they look like they're better equipped. So currently, we haven't lost any. They've lost one. They've lost 2 people. And I'm just going by the numbers over the top of them. They're standing back and yelling. The tried and true fight strategy is if we just yell at the enemy, eventually it might work out. Our effectiveness on our retinue is dropping fast, I assume because fatigue because of their armor. But we are chipping through. Yeah, so far we seem to be handily winning. So it looks like that means they've quit, because they lost their marker and they're running away. Oh. Meanwhile, we have a giant enemy army of, like, 72 people sitting here inside my territory. Looks like they were going to intervene, but I dealt with it myself. So what I need to figure out is how I can make a lot of weapons. Stop sighting and not sighting it. I know they're there. Do I have a clay pit built? No. I actually don't see how I can make that happen. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Yes, you collect berries. Stop. I can't do anything about them, so don't talk. Bodies need burial. Right. The people who attacked me and I killed them. That checks out. Alright. Then we'll get some of those attacking forces, we'll get them buried and moved on, because I assume it ends up being a real problem if they just rot out here. You can't click on them and get any information either. I should be allowed to take their weapons. Settlement level has increased. New development point. Okay. We can do irrigation, dramatically reduces the amount of damage from drought. Sheep grazing on pasture slowly multiply. Heavy plow enables the employing of oxen at the farmhouse to significantly faster plow larger fields, as well as bringing crop back to storage more efficiently. Then we have a bakery extension. Unlocks rye crop fields. Thank you for the follow. Welcome to the stream. Unlocks rye crop for fields similar to wheat. Rye is processed into flour, but it's more resilient and can be grown in areas with lower fertility. All right, let's do the sheep first, because then I assume if I buy a second sheep, this becomes a form of revenue where we could just keep getting more and more sheep, and then when the population gets high enough, you just kind of tick them off one by one and sell them. Getting our farmer going. So they're planting the wheat here. We got, yeah, so with the policies basically don't matter right now. Because the idea of getting slightly more stuff from the animals and then all of your farms get penalized to half productivity, well, that could be interesting for setting up a particular strategy on how you want to approach your place. It also seems terrible. All right. And we have nowhere here where barley can grow basically at all. Same with flax. Yeah, it looks like I need to go down to this region if I want flax and barley. Like that region, the far southwest and the far northwest. They seem good and everywhere else is terrible. Whereas emmer and rye, we seem to have more options. So right now it says 37. I'm going to say to leave that to follow and just see what happens. Yeah, with the conversation, if you like, that's reached a point where it's like clearly a conversation between two people. If you want to have that dialogue between the two of you, that's awesome. Like kind of thing. Yeah, it's basically where I'm going. It's like, it's cool if you want to have that conversation, nothing wrong with that. But like, we're just blowing up with chat, and then like, I'm having problems keeping up with it's like, oh, that kind of thing. Third person? Yeah, there's a third person that you can go into and wander around.
Whoa, this is heavier than it looks.
You can't really build or do any of the game mechanics and all that kind of stuff like this, though. It's just you can kind of look around. Which is cool and all that. But, you know, not particularly important or whatever. Like, it's a cool mechanic for if you just kind of want to wander around your town and all that. But not, you can't really do the game stuff. But yeah, now the third person, it's like for like City Skylines, where you can do the thing where like it pans over your city and all that. It's kind of cool for like the aesthetics. But like, not super important. Okay. We're definitely going to want to get the better plow, too. We are starting to get a little bit of money coming into town very slowly, and I'm very slowly getting a little bit of money.
Meat so tender, it practically melts in your mouth, he said. Go and see for yourself.
Expand living area.
Leather! Leather!
Doubles the maximum family count of this plot.
Berries! Berries! Bursting with flavour and fit for a king.
You'll not find finer wares anywhere else.
One, come on. Feast your eyes.
Okay, so I need whatever that third one was. Clay. So we got someone working the clay furnace, the smithy, the malt house. I don't have barley or anything yet. The dyer's house I don't have anything for. We've got someone working the saw pit, the tannery, and the weaver. So it should be all good here. Pretty soon I'll probably have enough money at the trading post. Start putting that to use. Oh, I need someone on the forager's hut. That's my main food source. Let's see, it looks like it's built on Unreal Engine. You're the third person. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Unreal Engine's a pretty good one. Yeah, so we gotta remember that's 37%, because I'm curious if that will build up over time. We could add fertilization. Okay. Yeah, no, there's definitely telltale stuff with certain game engines where you'll start seeing certain behaviors and be like, I know what engine that is.
Take a sip.
All right.
What's the worst that could happen?
Okay, we can go ahead and do the stretches and all that. So I definitely have more than enough houses for right now. The big thing I need to do is keep upping my income more than anything else, which the big thing that's the giveaway with that is I need to keep upping the quality of the houses here. As long as we keep those houses getting built up, over time, we will get to get more money kind of drawn from them. All right. What's the farmhouse's upgrade? Yeah, add plowing. We already had someone on the clay? Yeah, because assume what's happening is that this person is going over here, getting the clay themselves. Because, actually, let's check. Stonecutter, mining pit. So mining pit also works with clay. Well, let's see how that noise mechanic works, because... So far we have no smell. Let's actually zoom out. So apparently this guy's claimed all these regions but isn't building anything. Oh, you've got a development point? Oh, we have another development point. Alright, so let's get heavy plow. And we can go for fertilization next to help that. We are going to need more ox. But with this... we should be able to get the heavy plow to make plowing fields much faster. Snow Fox? Come on, man. One, it shouldn't have surprised you that that wasn't private. Like, literally you're seeing other people's conversations inserting in your conversation, so that's pretty straightforward. But also, like, that was the reason why people chimed in, is like, hey, you know, if it's a chat between two people, like, just try not to dominate it. We need to discuss Eat Bro. General storage is getting full, so I need more people doing the stuff here. And I need more people working the hitching post at a stable. The stuff behind locks in the policies hasn't been a lock discovered yet or hasn't been implemented yet. It's implying to me, the policies, that a lot of these say work in progress. Yeah, locked in early access. Sure, I'll accept the policy of policy signed, work in progress, locked. And you notice it also gave me all 6 of these ones down here. And these will say work in progress, locked early access. Yeah, so I don't actually care about those two. Sure. Working as intended. Policy ID _0. That's my favorite. That is just GG meta. Why would you ever run another policy? You wouldn't. That's why. So, enables the production of war bows, clothes, cobbler's workshops, wooden parts of shield, produces ale from malt, produces tools, spears, and sidearms. So it's interesting that you could just have... Okay. So basically you could make a house into a set of artisans that do extra. Is that really the game? What do you think so far? How much time do you have to play it? So I am still in my first playthrough since like the demo. It is very early access. That is one of the things I will say. It is definitely very, very early access. So that is a concern. Oh, I need more people chopping wood. It's not a bad game or anything like that. But there we go. Woodcutter's Lodge. Let's get 3 of you. Take 1 of you off there. But it's very early access. There's lots of things that are incomplete, broken, that kind of stuff. Like, we haven't had any bugs that, like, break the game or anything like that. Like, not bugs. Can you look at the last redeem in the event thingy on your end? Yeah, no, I know I need to eat my food. I just got, like, zoned in the game trying to figure it out. But yeah, now I'll make my food happen. This should be the version that comes out on the Twistic. Now they might have like minor updates and all that, but this is the early access version, not the demo. Yeah, no, and I should have got involved. That is one thing I find as a creator that is a little difficult for me, is when chat kind of gets away from me a little bit. Like when there's a dialogue going between two people, I kind of mentally be like, let me just write that off, because I'm I'm busy focusing on trying to do the other things. How is it comparable to City Skylines or Planet Coaster? It is not really in the same genre as Planet Coaster. Planet Coaster is a tycoon-style game where it's all about, like, running the business kind of thing, of a theme park. For City Skylines, it is a very, very, very different thing. If you're looking for games to compare it against, I'd compare it against games like Banished. Banished, Farthest Frontier, those kind of games. So when you're playing games like City Skylines, you turn around, then you sit there and... Yeah, sorry, dealing with some moderation stuff on my end. But, you'll sit there and you'll say, like, this is going to be residential, this is going to be commercial, this is going to be industrial, this is going to be office space. I need, like, a power plant over here. Let me do my roadways, and then there's simulated traffic and all that. So that's very much based on the city building side of things. But when you're playing this, it'd be more like Banished, where you go, I need a person who's going to cut wood so that my people don't freeze to death during the winter. I need a person to, farm so we don't starve to death. Those kind of things. So it'd be a survival one. Versus Planet Coaster doesn't have any of that. The people just get mad and leave, if you mistreat them. How would it compare to RimWorld? How would you compare it to RimWorld? In a weird way? I mean, RimWorld is a lot more about combat and, like, facing that kind of stuff. There is combat in the game, but it seems fairly... Like, we haven't done much of it, to be clear. It doesn't seem like it's particularly deep combat. But that could be I'm still just early on. But we'll see. Alright, how are you doing? Can I upgrade you yet? Gonna make our church better. It's gonna be the bestest church. And if you move your mouse, well, it's auto-saving, get knocked up. So you may hold off? Yeah, no, it is early access. Like, to be clear, the policy screen, you have those two. None of this is available yet. All of these aren't available yet. So policy screen pretty much doesn't exist. The production screen actually doesn't exist. The development screen, all of the highest tier stuff, and even some of the medium tier stuff, doesn't exist yet. So it is plenty early access. The things I will say it does well is the way you can build your buildings and all that is really sharp.
Take my bottle caps and don't tell anyone.
But you already told everyone. You put it publicly on the thing. You did it publicly. But thank you for the 300 biddies. I really do appreciate that. But yeah, so like when it comes to like building houses, it's not like other games where you sit there and you go, smack, there's a house. You kind of grid it out of saying, I want the houses to occupy this space. And then it automatically divides it between those. So I could say, I want those 5 houses. Nah, I'd like to turn it, or 6 houses, I'd turn it and like get 5. No, I want it facing that way. You can even sit there and say, no, I want the houses to have bigger areas. So you can do a lot of stuff to kind of change your layouts and all that. So that's kind of an interesting one. And you can like cut in your fields and all that. So it's not the classic, you have this 4x6 tile and that's your building. They do have buildings like that, like our storage houses and all that work that way. Okay, so you're still being constructed. But like for example, this house, you can do a straight up upgrade, which is pretty normal. They have the requirements. But you can also sit there and go, okay, I want this place to also have its own vegetable garden as a way of them getting like their own supplementary food. I can apparently convert this house and say, all right, you're going to have a blacksmith operating out of your home. And it's effectively like a home and a blacksmith, but then those people are only available to do that. So it's kind of interesting the way a lot of that works. So you have like artisans that work from their house and they produce goods. There is combat in the game. Like I've got some bandit camps down here, for example. We've got another faction over here. So it's got some kind of RTS stuff. But that seems relatively basic right now. So there's a lot there, but still a lot to figure out. Gotcha. Well, I hope that's all going well for you, Lux, right? Like, as, you know, things are continuing to improve, I should say. Yeah, so Malthouse, they still don't have access to Rye and all that. Which will be interesting, because all that area is down here and up there. Which is a long move over. I don't have nearly the military might of my opponent. Which, you know, that's pretty standard. You start at a major disadvantage against another faction you have to build up to fight them. They got timed out for 600 seconds, Darth. You know they're welcome to lurk and all that. Sorry, I was just trying to It does have that same problem that so many games have, where when you click out of the window, it mutes the volume and all that. Which, historically that being a thing, whatever. Seasonal resources. Some resources disappear when it gets cold and reappear again in the spring. Yes, this is our 3rd year. I'm well aware of that being a mechanic. Oh, we can finally open a trade route. Yes. Established trade route, please. We have a means of income, chat. Like, actual income, and not this, like, picking up our people's pennies from time to time.
Cold. I'd rather be inside than snowed.
We all know what that means, don't we?
Alright, so we still need more food variety here. And suddenly I have 138 money in my treasury. Just like that. Order a new horse. Okay. Am I in need of a new horse? So roof tiles and all that. But do you remember Simcopter where you could fly through your SimCity and got blown away? Oh yeah, no, that's huge. Like City Skylines has something similar. That you could do the thing where it just kind of pans through your city and all that. But that's a whole thing. Okay. Order another ox. Assign our person to it.
Why do I have to carry this alone?
Yeah, no, and I do apologize for a delay. That's actually one of the things I wanted to check. We're gonna lose audio for just a second. There's something I'm trying to check real fast on my admin side. Games, please make it so you actually still continue to have audio Like when we tab out. Because it really is a bummer when I have to do stuff like admin side real fast. And then just immediately all the audio's gone and all that. There's no need for it. Literally just keep it playing. Play audio while being in the background. Let's double check to make sure it's not on me. Audio. So there's nothing here. Gameplay, there's nothing here. Says, you know, keep it when it's non-focus. It would make no sense for it to be under graphics. It's not there. So yeah, so they don't have it. And again, this is one developer for the most part doing this game. So it's understandable that stuff's like missing. But it is one of those things that it's like, please. Is this a good game? It has a very, very good start. It is early access. And it does have a lot of stuff not in the game that if I were looking at it, does, can someone do the whole, like, ! Steam command or whatever it is to show the game? Because I don't know what, well, actually, it probably doesn't have a price yet. But, basically, I'm trying to figure out, I don't remember what the price is. Yeah, so it doesn't have a price yet. If this game comes out and you're talking like 10, 15 bucks or whatever, that would be entirely reasonable for it being out. No, I got you, Darth. We can go ahead and drop it for right now. Like I said, I probably should have jumped on it earlier. I wasn't keeping up with the conversation because it kept going by and like I was trying to juggle like learning a new game and then trying to spot stuff that wasn't what seemed like a conversation directly between two people. And I should have said something earlier, which is on me. Like if I had caught that it was like a negative conversation between two people, then, you know, I would have jumped on that real quick and put a stop to it, but it is one of those things. Okay. So, the apple orchard goes on houses. That I did not expect.
Keep your hearth warm and your home.
I should have checked. Okay, and that has no impact at all that. Passively gives hides, passively gives eggs, passively gets vegetables. And then these are the artisan ones that once I assign someone to that, they don't do their normal job. It was the amount, Snowfox, not an individual word.
Bloody frigid winters. Only 2 toes left, and my wife says she'll go and live with old Tom and 6 toes if I lose my last ones.
So I'll put you on to
Tomorrow, find a new home. Or town.
a bowyer, so we start getting bows. Alright, so how many families can this region accommodate to increase, build more houses? So we're at 37 we'll have there. What is confusing is that's implying that there's 42 families, yet I don't have anyone homeless? I don't really understand. Does a tier 2 family qualify in both a level 1 and 2 with that UI? Because this would imply that we only have 36 now, but we're going to go up to 37. I don't really understand it at all, but okay. And we have to wait to upgrade more of our houses based on food variety. It still says 37%. Now we're making a lot of progress on a lot of our production stuff. Stone and tools were doing really well. I'm guessing we don't have a means of capping the storage in any way, which is fine. So I mean, I guess I have to manually intervene. Which wouldn't be a surprise for us. Oh, here we go. Right, so I can sit there and say, this storage place does whatever, that storage place does whatever. So that's probably what you do. Early game, you accept everything. But as you get to like mid and late game, you'd sit there and turn around and go, okay, you know, put all this food in this storage, and, you know, that'll make that life easier. Alright. Desired / surplus. In this UI, I'm a little unclear. As in, between desire and surplus. Like, is this how much I want to keep on hand? Like, that UI is a little unclear to me. But that's early access pains. But yeah, so I'm really liking what they've got here. They've got a really good base for it. The Manor is kind of really cool. Now, granted, I just don't have the materials I need to do it. But, like, you could sit there and build the Manor to, you know, have a bunch of, like, walls and gates and all sorts of stuff to it and whatnot. You know, have, like, a defensive position and all that. So I do like that you have, like, your castle you actually build up and all that. Let's see. Artisan workshops can sometimes produce multiple types of goods. To select the good, go in the general panel of the building. Okay, there's nothing there, but sure. Alright. Food is getting low, and it's getting low fast. I need more food supplies. We can't do much to harvest more that way. We gotta get the farms up. Okay. So flax, malt for ale. So you'll all be... Well, actually, keep you on follow. Keep you on follow. Keep you on follow. Set up your crop rotations. Alright, so you. You eat now. You eat next. You eat later. I'm gonna need another farmhouse, probably. Running out of food. I am, unfortunately, very aware. Burn the field. Okay. And that's gone almost all year. And hasn't made any bit of difference on the fertilizer. So I'm not sure if the whole follow thing helps at all. So I'm having problems getting the farms to be meaningful, despite me leaning my policy into the farms. which is very concerning, as you would imagine. Let's go to the livestock trading post. Trade.
Leather.
Add a person to handle that for right now.
All the land.
I need more people, though. And I need to... Yeah, because adding another person there. So the woodcutters, what's our fuel up to? Our fuel's fine. Let's go to the woodcutter, unassign 2 of those so they can go work on other things. I'm going to put another one on the farmhouse and just try and escalate the farmhouse. That's fine. I'm not going to do that during stream or anything like that, but yeah. They've got another place being claimed. Which place is being claimed? Oh, you're claiming that corner. Gotcha. Yeah, so definitely I feel like this is a game. I don't think I would buy this game right now. Like, it's really cool. It's got a lot of really neat stuff going on, but there is just... It's just a little bit too early access for me. Yeah, so they're trying to get these fields knocked out as fast as they can. I'm just trying to get more and more farmers going in a hope we can make that settle. Expand the living area in here. Requirements not met. Oh, that's for... You're missing food stalls. I'll have you do a vegetable garden. I'll have you a chicken garden. You know, a goat shed. You can have an orchard. Have them help support our food situation by producing stuff as well. Yeah, so we're trying to get a lot more wheat fields going. Yeah, it is interesting to me. So we're doing the follow thing, and I'm noticing it hasn't improved the fertilizer at all. Follow fields regenerate all types of fertility, but have no yields. Yeah, so my assumption with the way follow would work is you basically give up a year of crop so that the next year you get a little higher percentage. And then normally the way that kind of thing would work in a lot of these games is you'd sit there and you'd grow stuff, you'd skip a season or two, and you'd eventually get like the field to be more fertile, that kind of thing, to the point that you get more crop out of it. And then if you don't follow, like gradually the fertility would come back down. So there's the juggle, like a give and take of like how frequently you can do crops from that field before you need to let the field recover its nutrients. And that you could then augment it with stuff like fertilizer to mitigate that problem as well. Alright, we are straight up out of food. Food gone. So just do your best, I guess. I've got fields planting. They're either going to be enough or they're not. It's not a whole lot I can do. Yeah, see, the general idea behind the game is pretty good. You're curious about the farther progress of development. Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I'm feeling right now is like the game's got a lot of cool stuff going on. Like lots of cool stuff going on. And it's got a really good start. But right now with the way the game is,
Summer's coming soon.
there's like all the tech that's missing. Kind of does limit you quite a lot. Where if you're to play this compared to say like Banished or a lot of the other games in the genre, like this one doesn't. This one has a lot more like novelty, new ways of approaching it. But on the other hand, what you run into with this one is it doesn't have as much depth finished yet. Because like, yeah, and then stuff like this: deposit _ exhausted mining pit. Let's unassign you, because we're all out of stone there. Well, that's curious. That means there's got to be either some stone upgrade or we have to trade for stone from now on. At a place where a livestock merchant could come to your town, deliver the animal. Orders can be placed once a month. Order another ox. The physical third person are also quite good. Yeah. Not even localizations. It's like they have the dev variables showing. So far I'm not getting warnings of anyone starving, despite the fact that I'm being constantly warned that our food is just about gone. Yeah, so get that field sorted soon. But yeah, so it's a cool game. I like what they got here. It's still definitely got a lot of early access pains. But considering how small the team is working on, but you know, from my understanding, it's pretty close, pretty much like a lone developer. It's still really impressive what they've got. Alright, so that's all planted. And that's waiting for harvest season. We're barely keeping our food up by just leaning on the berries even harder. Is there more places that we can fit a good farm here? What do we got here? There's a little spot down here. And there's more spots over here and here that could be leveraged. Be careful, you're about to run out of timber and block yourself. Make sure you have a logging camp before placing more buildings. I have a logging camp. I'll put another person on assignment for it if that's what you want. Can't really afford to not have you working. Hey, and the sheep are slowly reproducing now. Um. So I'm assuming this is the amount we want to maintain. I'll leave it alone.
Well, perhaps it was simply a bad batch. These things do happen from time to time.
Yeah, so you've got
You'll
those
not
going.
find finer wares anywhere else. Poor quality, he said. Impossible.
Right. Are you upgraded yet? Why are you taking so long to upgrade? You've got all the materials for it. Yeah, no, I probably should have just mentioned doing that earlier. Yeah. About the assign the family, is it like the system in Frostpunk? It works pretty different from the system in Frostpunk. So you go to here and you can say, I want a family to be assigned. And that family lives in a household. So it's not based on one person so much as like a family unit. So if someone in the family unit dies, the next one steps in to take them, so you don't have to keep reassigning. But then you also have the concept of making someone an artisan. So you can go here and be like, alright, you are now an artisan, which means that house effectively operates as something between a business and a household. Or it does a little bit of both. So you gotta kind of get all that sorted.
Step right up and set.
Alright. Cheap, good for imports, work in progress, good value to export, work in progress. Trade point. Understood. Yeah, because a lot of those systems that involve, like, the broader trade and all that, that's kind of one of the things that it'd be fun to do more with, but they're not implemented yet. And so we're also not getting many things that I can import that I can't just make here as well. So I like what we got, but it's definitely early access pain. So for those who didn't catch the beginning, we will be switching to Rimworld not too much longer. We're gonna go a little bit longer, Manor Lords. I think for me, it's gonna be we're gonna play this like the one and done today. I like what I see, but I'm gonna want to wait to let it brew a bit longer. So I think what my personal stance is gonna be for it. It does have a really good start though. Yeah, and we're doing pretty good. We don't have wooden parts being made. It does feel like you need to do a lot more with our properties here. And have them doing stuff, because like that's one of the big interesting things about the game is that you can go through and assign them to all have, you know, extensions and all that. To supplement all your other stuff. But right now I'm just getting them to put in a bunch of random crops real fast. Okay, we've run out of money. That's fine. Yeah, and we're not a 1,000 influence yet to try and claim a property. We are getting pushed in here into a corner. Yeah, the food stalls are struggling because we don't have enough food. Yeah, so you should start harvesting this in a moment. And the hope is that it'll have enough for the windmill to run for a long while and give us a whole lot of bread. Yeah, so I took some pretty bad penalties from the taxes last time, but there's also that. As you know, it's polarizing, but how do you feel about early access? You go back and forth. A game like this should buy early access. Generally speaking, in the broader sense, I'm more not on board with early access than on board with it. And to preface what I mean by that is I find a lot of games go into early access very early. And obviously if there's like they financially need to be able to afford to continue developing the game and all that, you know, it makes sense. But you are kind of giving up one thing for the other type deal. That, like, games like, for example, Valheim is a great game, but because it went early access so early and how long it takes for, like, the next update to happen, that I do find myself often, you know, not coming back to it at any point. Alright, I need to find an extra person to work here. Go ahead and do that. So it's one of those things. And I do find a lot of early access games, they release way too early, so the game is like missing core things to make its game look fun and enjoyable. And then you hop in, and because of that, it doesn't get reviewed well. People go, oh, that's alright. And then they have kind of a flop launch. And then because the launch is quite a bit of a flop, they end up not coming back to work on it anymore. Because, you know, it sold, it did badly, and kind of getting, like, on Steam, it's really hard to recover if you have, like, a really bad launch. Because the algorithms and everything Steam uses will suppress your game and won't get to new and trending, which means it's really hard to get any mileage whatsoever. And so it's kind of one of those things. I want to see all the farmers go up here and tear up this field. Because it's harvest time. That's fine, I don't really care. Because in theory, that should help us a lot. We'll pull up a ton of wheat. And then take it over to the windmill and do stuff. Yeah, because we don't need to force harvest it early. It's supposed to give me 74 in 14 days or whatever. That's supposed to give me 54 in 8 days. Now I have noticed the fields after they've been planted. This field has dropped down to showing as a 7% production with all that. Now that said, there are games that go early access that do a good job, but the way I kind of look at it is if a game could release today and never get an update, and people be like, this is a satisfactory experience, like this is a complete experience, then it can be worth releasing at that moment. And then, you know, they keep adding more and more and more, and you get the idea. But it's just how many do come out there like, okay, there's not much here, I'll come back and check it later. I find rough. And then I did kind of complain earlier that it used to be when you get, and some still do that, when you get an early access game that comes out in a very early phase, that they give you a significantly discounted price. Well, we're still harvesting it. They haven't had a chance to haul it away. Come on, man. I'm also kind of wondering what the farmers do on the season off. I'm hoping it would like manually turn it back on and off again and again. Because that would be kind of tedious and annoying to be like, okay, season's done, unassign everyone, reassign them over here. Especially when you consider like the whole thing where this helps circumvent the assignment problem, whereas like that makes, you know, gets rid of a bunch of bad micro. I also really don't understand what's happening with the housings right now. I'm assuming what it means is where it says level 1 and level 2 families. Level 2 families are included in the level 1, because I see the 38 here, that we can support 38 families, though this implies 48 families. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of early access stuff with this and like that. Requirement not met. And that's again because food. Now granted, we got that wheat. Docks being damaged because of the weather. We're working on it. Yeah, so right now they're surviving basically on wheat itself. Yeah, so I need more supplies. That's warning me that we got people with insufficient things covered. Anomaly is making you realize how bad you are at RimWorld, but you still love it. Yeah, Anomaly is great. Alright, so what I do think we're going to do is we are hitting about that halfway time in stream. That I do tend to switch my games up and all that. I do think for Manor Lords, my current review I would give of Manor Lords, for like a final opinion, current view kind of thing, is it has a really, really good basis. It has a really, really good ideas and concepts that it's employing, and that they look very promising. But it is still very early access. So I think for me personally, I like what I see. I want to revisit it when it's much further along, and I'm not seeing dev variables and titles and things everywhere, and that, like, entire trees of the whole thing aren't implemented yet. So that's my current thing. Yeah, the TLDR is come back later. It's definitely one to, like, put the mark saying, alright, let's keep an eye on that, but come back later. I don't think it's ready yet. Now, that said, if they're selling it at a discount of like 10-15 bucks or whatever, maybe pick it up if you're willing to take that risk. I think that would be fair. But if it does drop at like 30-40 bucks or something like that, I personally wouldn't buy. I would wait. That said, what we're going to end up doing is we're going to be switching over to RimWorld now. For those over on YouTube, what's going to end up happening is the stream will go down on YouTube and it will come back up in a couple minutes as we switch the game over. That's just because changing categories over on YouTube, it breaks a bunch of things, so I do have to like split it up into separate videos. So everywhere else though, I can switch things over and we should be good. So give me a moment to go through all that, and